Welcome to the Family First Retirement Podcast with George Politarhos. For more information, visit betrayowealth.com. Now, let's get to the show.
Folks,
here we go.
I got to say this before we start the show.
Let's go.
If you haven't voted yet, I'm one of those people that vote on election day. I don't care if I wait in line for 4 hours, I wait in line to vote. You got to vote. Mm-hmm. Because as Betty, my mother, would say, if you don't vote, you can't complain.
Yes, sir.
And it's important. I think it's really important. We are voting. And what's nice about that, Mark, and or it's sad maybe, is that so many of us say, you vote for Donald Trump, I don't like you.
Right.
Can't talk to you. You vote for Kamala Harris, I don't like you. I can't talk to you. Whatever happened to having conversation?
Yeah.
But you do need to, folks, you need to get up, you need to go out, you need to vote. If you haven't already, so many people are voting already, I'm surprised, but you do need to vote.
302-330-2166. Again, 302-330-2166. Getting ready for Election Day. George, you've said it before, that if your retirement portfolio hinges on this election, then you don't have a strong retirement portfolio.
We all worry about, I told you before, I love our country.
Mm-hmm.
We have the greatest country in the world. I don't like the government so much or the way it runs. When we come to retirement planning, we're planning for retirement for you and your spouse. It's not on the country, it's based on what your needs are, your wants, your desires are. And when you come into the office here at 501 Silverside Road, we are going to do that. We're going to plan your retirement. Will it change? Will the results of the markets change? Probably. But we know that there are some factors in there that we can plan for. And by putting an educated plan together, we can get you to where you want to be, where you need to be. And I always say, Mark, how you get to sleep at night?
Yeah.
How you're going to be able to sleep comfortably for the next 2, 3, 4, 10 years. And that all starts with calling us at 302-330-2166 to schedule your no-cost, no-obligation meeting. You need to take the first step, folks. If you haven't done that yet, what in the hell are you waiting for?
Okay, that's funny you say that, because there was a board of CFPs that found that 80% of Americans expect their finances to suffer because of the election if their candidate doesn't win. Furthermore, 60% are putting off financial decisions like taking that vacation, buying a home, buying an RV. They're putting off any of those financial decisions until after the election. Do you agree with that? Do you think that's scared way of thinking?
Well, on certain things, sometimes it may make sense to make a delayed decision on some of those things. For example, take buying a house right now. Mm-hmm. 4 months ago, were you buying a house if you didn't have to?
Not if I don't have to.
Probably not.
Yeah.
The rates were through the roof. The rates changed, are coming down. And I think you'll see a big change after the election, one way or another. And the reason is that they know the rates have to come down. And folks, let's be realistic about this. There's two distinct different theories behind these two candidates running for office. I believe if Donald Trump is elected president, what you're going to see happen is the price of gas will go down drastically in the next week after the election results are announced. And not a thing is going to change, but the oil companies are going to have a pro-president, pro-pumping. That's going to drive the price of gas down, mm-hmm. which is going to start driving the price of everything else you have driving down.
Okay.
Because you think about it, 4 years ago,
mm-hmm.
when they announced that Joe Biden had beat Donald Trump, prices, because he said, we're going to stop drilling. Remember that?
Yep.
Price of gas started going up immediately. We started seeing a rise in costs going up immediately. That's going to be the reverse this time. And I hope it is. We have to plan. But going back to your question, Mark, we all have that thought where we get that tunnel vision. And my candidate has to win or the world's going to hell in a handbag. And I'll tell you a quick
more
story.
Than ever, yeah.
Ever. I remember being a little boy. I was brought up in a very conservative family. My mother and father were very active in the Republican Party in Delaware County, mm-hmm. Delco. My dad was in politics. And Gerald Ford was running against Jimmy Carter in 1975. Became president in 76. And he lost. Jimmy Carter became our president. Mm-hmm. And I woke up in the morning and I was going downstairs getting ready to go to school. And I asked my mom, who won the election? And she said, oh, Governor Carter won. And I started to cry. And And she's like, what are you crying about? I said, well, Mr. President Ford didn't win. The world's going to go, we're in trouble now. And she's like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a different way. Your team didn't win.
Mm-hmm.
It's just changed. So it's the same thing now.
Yeah.
Let's think about this as adults. Don't be that 6-year-old, that 10-year-old little boy back then. Let's be adults about this.
Mm-hmm.
And let's plan for things we can control.
Right.
We can't control who's going to win the election. We're going to vote and your vote counts. We have no say in it. We cannot control how the market's going to do. We can't control interest rates, but we can control planning. We can control being proactive and getting a tax plan in place today. We can plan and control our Social Security, when we're going to turn on Social Security, what's the options. Let's take advantage of the things we can control. Let's stay on course and let's go. But give us a call, 302-330-2166, to schedule that no cost, no obligation meeting. If you've saved $200,000 plus for retirement, and that's a 401k, money market, CDs, TSP, 403Bs, give me a call. Let me give you that no cost, no obligation family first retirement plan because you need it. Let's take the gray out of the retirement and let's start making it black and white. Let's control the things we can and let's get in the right place for tomorrow.
Again, we don't have that crystal ball, but a lot of conversation about the Trump tax cuts. Those are set to expire at the end of next year. And that is something, even if Trump wins, that is something you should jump on right now because you've said it before, George, that taxes are pretty much on sale right now. And there are strategies, and you work with people that help put those strategies and opportunities within retirement plans to help mitigate taxes. So now is the time to take advantage of that.
Absolutely. And let's remember something. They expire the end of next year, end of 2025. Does that mean if Donald Trump wins the election, they're going to be extended automatically?
Nope.
No.
A lot of red tape to go through.
So let's stop taking that for assumptions.
Yep.
Let's take the next step. Maybe it makes sense to start doing a Roth conversion right now. Maybe it makes sense to start converting to tax-deferred income. How are we going to get this tax plan? When you work with me and my team at Politarhos Wealth Group, we're going to have a relationship, a conversation about these. You're going to meet with Ernie Callias, who we have a strategic business partnership with, about the taxes. How are we going to maximize what you have to make it work for you? Not for the government, not for other people, for ourselves. Charity starts at home. You always heard that saying, right?
Yes, sir.
Our tax planning starts at home. It starts with your tax planning, your Social Security plan, your family first retirement. But you need to call us at 302-330-2166 to schedule that meeting, to come in and start. And you don't wait till tomorrow. You don't wait until January 20th. You start today because you need to plan. End of year reviews are so important. Whether you're with the family here at Politarhos Wealth and our calendar is filling up with our customers doing our end of year reviews, or you're working with those big box firms where your customer number 1, 2, and add 20 zeros after it.
Right.
You need to have that review. Come in, let me sit down with you. Let the team work with you, and let's see where you're at. Give us a call, 302-330-2166, or go to Politarhos Wealth, PATRIA Wealth.com, and let's schedule that call today.
Okay, you're talking a little bit about Social Security. Let's get into that here for a couple of minutes. There was a nationwide study that said most adults believe that if they claim Social Security benefits early, the benefit amount will go up automatically when they reach that full retirement age. George, you're laughing. Why is that? Is that a false pretense that we're led to believe?
Absolutely. It's that you went to the water cooler at work, or the coffee machine at work, and John told you something, and it must be true, right? He would never be wrong. And it's very untrue.
My mom told me when I was a kid, I was a big boy, and she said, honey, you're just husky and big boned. To this day,
I'm husky and big boned.
I'm husky. It has nothing to do with my love of Chick-fil-A and my love of
you
honey
love
mustard.
Those Levi Husky boy pants, right? They fit so nice on you, boy.
Listen, I get it. The maternity jeans fit just as well on the dudes, okay? Those little stretchy pants after Thanksgiving dinner, come on now.
That's why they unbutton the top buckle.
See, I'm telling you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But no, when you turn on your Social Security, for most of us, if you turn on your full retirement age, which is based off the year of your birth, that number's there. And that's when you get the most buck for your dollar, so to speak. But if you turn on earlier, you get a reduction what the benefit is. You get more payments. And every year it might go up due to COLAs. And I use the word might go up. It's not promised to you or guaranteed. But you do not get the raise to the next age that you would have taken.
Wait, is that another misconception about Social Security? Is that COLA is guaranteed? The cost of living adjustment in Social Security?
Absolutely. Been many years that we have not had a COLA increase. Or if they have, they had a minimal COLA increase. Give you a prime example. Let's talk about federal employees for just a quick second.
All right.
Federal employees have something called federal employee health benefits. And they get an increase in salaries pretty much every year, COLA increases for retirees and employees. Their health insurance this year, ready for this one, if we complain about prices and how costs have gone up, is 11.4% increase this year. That's not a misspeak. It's 11.4% increase.
That's
their cost of living adjustment was 3.3.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had that reversed. Oh, that's not good. And that increase is not good. Oh.
So my health insurance went from $100 a month to $111.40. And my money that I get paid went from $100 a month to $103.
Yeah.
I lost money this year. So to think that COLAs are guaranteed is a mistake. It's terrible. I think you always plan for worst case scenario and be happy with the increase. Mm-hmm. And that goes really planning about retirement. And even while you're working, you know, so many people say, I want that new car every other year. I need that new car every other year.
Right.
There's a huge difference between wants and needs.
Mm-hmm. And
we have to plan accordingly to it. Yep. But give us a call and we'll go over that question with you because you have to know when to turn something on. I had a meeting yesterday and the customer said, well, I'm retiring at 64. I have to turn on Social Security. Well, do you really have to? Let's see what all the other picture looks like.
Right.
How's everything else? How's your pension? If you're one of those few that have a pension, Mark, well, you won the bingo prize.
Congrats.
But how's it work together? Let's get the information all together so we can make that educated choice about tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And please, if I hear another person say, well, my brother Bob, who's a plumber, or my sister Janice, who's an oral hygienist, said, do me a favor, don't ask me about how to clean your teeth or how to repair the toilet.
Yeah.
And don't ask them how to do your financial planning. This is your financial plan, and you are not like your neighbors. So when you call me at 302-330-2166, we are going to give you your Family First Retirement Plan based off of your wants, needs, and desires.
302-330-2166. We invite you to call today and begin this conversation with George and the team. You can always visit them online at betrayawealth.com, P-A-T-R-I-A wealth.com. You can meet the team. You can put faces to the voices that you hear. And George, you often say it. When people look at me, their first response is, oh, you look like
the fat version of Joey from Friends. That bratty girl, the waitress, has said to me when that was on Friends, must be 15 years ago. We're at dinner. I ever tell you this story, Mark?
No.
Oh, my gosh. We're at dinner with the boys, Leslie and I. This 15, 20 years, whatever the heck it was. And we're sitting at the table, and this young waitress, probably 19, is sitting there, and she's coming over, and she keeps staring at me. And I'm like, hey, how you doing? Play with my hair a little bit high. How are you? My wife's right here.
I've still got it.
She goes, oh, my gosh. Has anyone ever said that you look like Joey from Friends? I said, oh, no, I've heard that sometimes. She goes, but the fat version. I'm like, oh, my gosh. I said, and my boys were laughing. Alex and Jared were hysterical. Leslie's grinning, laughing. I said, you do realize, dear, that I'm paying for dinner. But it's great.
She didn't get a tip. They got a bad Yelp review.
No. She was a
George
great
was
young lady.
picketing outside. But you know what?
That often.
She's not wrong.
I look better than him now, though, I think. I'm not as gray as he is, that's for sure.
Well, he's got something that you don't, though. $20 million a year in residuals coming from his time spent on Friends. That's what we
played
call
that part so well.
Mailbox money, George. You
That's it.
continue
God
to
bless him.
get that paycheck even when you're done working. Actually, ironically, I want you to hear this clip from Matt LeBlanc because he talks about, even though he doesn't have to work, he said he may never do another TV show again. He really enjoys just doing nothing.
My plan was, it was 10 years of Friends, and I did 2 years of Joey, and then I said, right, I'm going to take a year off. I want to take a year off and just relax. I had such a good time. I said, I'm gonna take another one. And then that one was even better. So I said, maybe one more. And then it turned into 5 or 6 years. My favorite thing in the world to do, like my absolute favorite thing in the world to do is nothing. I'm great at it.
I'm the king of...
I'm surprised that his favorite food is what?
What?
Sandwich.
Is it?
That's on the show. That was
I don't know.
Friends thing.
True story. I've never seen one full episode of Friends. I think maybe I might have watched half an episode because I was dating a girl who loved it, and I was just trying to be the good guy.
No, we know what you're trying to do.
All right, thank you.
But really,
I've never seen one full episode of Big Bang Theory either. Another one of those shows that everyone loves.
that I've never watched
What?
until recently is Young Sheldon.
Caroline loves
it.
Yes.
I love it.
I've seen clips of Big Bang. It's laugh track. It's set up punchline. I will say Young Sheldon, even though it's already done, it's run its course. I think it's on Netflix. Really, really good show.
Really good show.
I agree with that. Hey, let's go back to what Matt LeBlanc said right there, because if you think about it, he said, I took some time off, and then I went back and did a show, and then I took more time off, and more. He was giving his retirement a bit of a test run, if you will.
Yep.
Is that possible? Can you do that for us? Can you, test drive our retirement so that we can eventually, as he just said, do nothing?
You can, absolutely. It's how but it doesn't just happen, Mark. It takes time. It takes a plan to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we look at. I have a customer right now we're working with. I've been a client with us now, good Lord, going on 6 years. And they live out near Newark, New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And they have not worked in 5.5 years. He's 61, she's 58.
God, so she was in her early 50s. He was in his mid 50s.
And they do work, I'm using air quotations here, where they do it just a couple days a week. She still does a couple days a week to get out of the house and away from him.
I get it.
But they've planned. We work to get to this point, and they're growing their accounts. They're having retirement, and they live a great life. They're never there. They're traveling, having fun, living the dream. But they have the opportunity because they planned accordingly. They worked hard, and they did a great job before we started working together. So I had to call a spade a spade.
Mm-hmm.
And their kids are grown out of the house, and now they're living that life. But he has said, we just had a review last week. He said, I've thought about going back and doing something because I'm tired of being home, like not doing anything.
Yeah.
She goes out and goes work a couple days a week just to fiddle-faddle. Goes, I think I need to do something. The plan is, what do I need to do? And it's a great way to be. But unless you go out there and you play the Mega
Millions or
Mega
Powerball
Mega
or
Millions, whatever they call the lottery. I always play my $2 when it's above $100 million.
Yeah.
Because anything else isn't worth my $2.
Why is that?
You have to really
why do we have that thought process?
I don't know.
The lottery's at 40 million, and for some reason we're like, shh, after taxes, that's 20 million.
Yeah.
I'm not going to play.
That's 1 year for Matt LeBlanc. Please.
I'm not going to play unless
How
it's
do I want that for?
million. I know. It's such a weird.
But it's funny. I picture my mind winning, and I'm like, okay, so what do I do with this? Well, I'm not going to stop working. So I don't work now. I just have a great time. And I'm going to buy that big horse farm and build a house for Alex and Anna on one part at 5 acres and Jared on another 5 acres and me and Leslie with the pool, community pool.
Yeah.
And I'll have that donkey I've always wanted.
I didn't know you
I want a donkey. They're nice.
This is your dream. This is your
it's my dream. You're
financial
right.
freedom.
I don't think we're going to. So it's a plan. It really is getting a plan to get to that test run. I test drive my cars before I buy them.
Mm-hmm.
I think you test drive your retirement, see how it's going to work. And when you do the Family First Retirement Plan, we're talking about how retirement's going to look for you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take it for that run.
Yeah.
Let's take it for a little time. Let's see how it feels. See if you're comfortable. But it starts with a plan. Everything starts with a plan. So give us a call, 302-330-2166.
Insurance and annuities offered through George A. Politarhos, Delaware Insurance License Number 1373121. Annuity guarantees rely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Read your contract for restrictions, limitations, or penalties.